All right, welcome everyone. We'll go ahead and get started.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Shop Local Raleigh, Greater Raleigh Merchants Association 2021 annual meeting. I'm Jennifer Martin, Executive Director, and here's Brian Didiano, our Board President. First, we want to get a few words from one of our sponsors, Charette from Solido.net. Charette, would you please introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit more about your company?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jennifer and Diddy. It's an honor to be here and be a sponsor for Shop Local Raleigh. We were a Raleigh-born, Raleigh-grown company. We started in July of '99. So when you are helping shop local and be local, support for a company like ours would be extremely appreciated. And I always tell people, give local a shot. We may not be the right fit for everyone, but it's nice to start with us and see. And we do high-speed internet, voice over IP services, and consulting, IT consulting. And been a proud supporter and with you guys for quite a while now, and just happy to be part of this and sponsoring. So thank you again for including us. And if you need anything, Jennifer, obviously everyone knows you, so email Jennifer or myself or look us up. We'd really appreciate support. And it's tough out there, and I promise you I'm trying to support everything local as well. And it does take all of us to do it. So once again, proud of it, and share it with Solido. Thanks for all that you guys do, especially you, Jennifer, getting the word out about our local businesses right here in Raleigh, right here in the greater Raleigh area. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Charette. Thank you again for not only hosting, but also allowing us to use your gorgeous office space and high-speed internet and all the wonderful things that you provided for us today to make this possible, including the HEPA filters. He's also provided with us several HEPA filters so that we can be safe today. So another quick welcome. We want to thank Oak Park Shopping Center. Oak Park Shopping Center has been a long-term sponsor of Shop Local Raleigh and supporter. And we want to go ahead and show you a quick little clip of who Oak Park Shopping Center is. Where's the video? Audio. Thank you, Oak Park Shopping Center, for sponsoring. With over 60 years right here in Raleigh, locally owned and independent, they have something for everyone. Whether you're looking for home, for entertainment, for food, or just for a lovely afternoon out, be sure to visit Oak Park Shopping Center. Now I want to turn it over to Brian. Brian's going to walk us through. If you'd like to follow along on social media, feel free to use our hashtags, Show Some Local Love, or hashtag SLR Meeting. Brian?
Thank you, Jennifer. It's great to be here today. And thank you again, Charette, staying in the global headquarters of Solido. It's fantastic to be here and great to present to you today our annual meeting. First of all, I just want to introduce our team. I know Jennifer has introduced me, but we could not do this and do everything we do throughout the year without our wonderful staff, including Jennifer Martin, who is our Executive Director, and Sarah Getzinger, who's also on the Zoom meeting today. She runs our member relations and our programs. Both of those emails, if you want to contact them, are there. But now I want to introduce our board of directors. And I love this. We showed some pictures, which are a surprise to all of them. Starting with me, Brian Didiano with Behringer Construction. We have Pat Dickinson, Sydney Davis English, Keisha Dozer, Jason Feister, Cheryl Frazier, Paul Laughter, Steve McLaurin, Sonny Miller, Sharon Moe, John Odom, love that hat, John, Brian Oniro, and Holly Connell-Tian. Holly, that's what picture was taken yesterday, right? I love these pictures. We could not do this without our wonderful board. This is a board that works and works hard for you. We have monthly meetings. Not only that, we probably have almost daily phone calls to talk about current issues that we're going to discuss more in this annual meeting, and Jennifer will go over. But thank you so much, board of directors, for your contribution of time and effort. What a year. Who would have thought we'd be having this virtually, right? When COVID-19 hit, man, we've spent a lot of time focusing on how to help our local businesses and our members. We're proud of our members. Our job here is to support you. And how we do that is we do a lot of research. We have a lot of connections in not just local politics and government, but also with state government and also with the businesses, large and small, to try and help support you and focus on you. And this is a little bit of what we focused on this year. Jennifer, you want to go over some of that?
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. And thank you again, to the board of directors. From Sarah and I, we could not do what we do without them and their support, fully encouraging us, motivating us, challenging us, and really giving us the ability to do what we do day in and day out. Without them and their support, Shop Local Raleigh would not be what it is today. Now, who would have thought just less than a year ago, or actually a year ago, we were having this annual meeting, and a few weeks later, we would spend hours and hours on the phone talking with many of you, connecting with many of you, hearing your stories, and answering those questions, and just really being an ear for you on how do I do? What am I going to do? Where's my business going from here? I have to lay off my staff. How are we going to keep my business afloat? What is my next step? How am I going to pay my mortgage, my employees, and put food on the table? We heard your stories right there with you. We as well experienced some of the same hardship, some of the same stress, but the number one thing remained is that we are here for good, and we wanted to connect with all of you and keep you and our community our number one priority. Immediately, we jumped into action. And Brian, do you mind if I ask you to step just a few steps back? Brian and I are going to socially distance because I want to make sure I can connect with you
Absolutely.
in a safe and manner way, and share our expression to you in a personal manner as much as we can be personal. So nothing against Brian, but it's much easier to talk without this mask. First of all, we just want to let you know that we jumped in right away to make sure to figure out what are ways that we could help you. Having calls and emails and text, having late night conversations with so many of you, answering the phone, doing research. The City of Raleigh, the Economic Development Office, started organizing twice a week calls with different local leaders. We made sure that we were a part of those calls. We connected with our local media to tell them your story, to make sure that they were aware of what was really happening in our community. It was a global pandemic, but here locally, we were facing losing many of you that have created, built, and made this community what Raleigh is to be the number one place to live, work, and play. We started a PPE sourcing program, connecting with local providers, searching and sourcing where could we find masks, hand sanitizer, cleaning products, and gloves, the number one most popular item that was requested. Making sure that we could not only find those items, but find them at somewhat of an affordable rate. Right, immediately reaching out to Paul Friedrich, a local artist, from an idea that actually came from one of you, to go ahead and have a local artist design a shirt, with proceeds from that shirt going to help offset some of the cost, whether it was the PPE products, whether it was having, downtown, our downtown needed some help this year, and using those funds to benefit you, our members, and small businesses in our community. We faced Drive-Through Boogaloo. As many of you know, Boogaloo is our number one fundraiser. It's also an event that is nationally known. It has won awards, but it draws over 50,000 people to Raleigh for 2 days of fun. Through that event, we knew that we were losing food trucks, vendors, music providers, staff for special events, and our craft brewing industry. Putting together Drive-Through Boogaloo was our answer to immediate action, to not just canceling events, but being creative and finding out how we can pivot and make sure that the show must go on and carry things to do our part to help small business. Unfortunately, as you guys know, we saw a lot of destruction in our downtown. There's a lot of things that happened nationally, and our downtown needed help. And so we got the call asking us if we would help. A series of events. The next thing it was, we got the call and someone said, you know what? Shop Local Raleigh always gets the job done. And when we need help, we know that you will answer the call. We immediately jumped into action, going and buying plywood, going and buying 2x4s, nails, screws, pulling together a lot of our own personal materials to load up, and headed downtown to go and help our friends in need. Doing these things are part of, maybe some would question, why is it that we do these? It's part of our mission. It's part of why we exist. And it's answering the call when small businesses need help. It's helping to persevere, the unique character of our community, and all of us together are the community. And together we are stronger when we work together. Through all of this, we were also building a new office. Brian can serve as a testament to what the space looked like before. At last year's annual meeting, we presented the plan to open a new space, a space that would be unique to Shop Local, that would be unique to the community, but that would also go ahead and highlight finding some places that maybe were run down, forgotten about, left behind, that we could improve. And I want to show you a little bit of a couple highlights of some of the things that we did this year to make sure that we tried to keep life and business as normal as possible as we could for all of you in our community. Broogaloo still won Best Beer Festival in America, voted by USA Today in 2020. Even though the event did not happen live in person as it normally would, it still had that same notoriety and fan favorite that everyone loves. And again, we cannot wait to get back to city streets and have this kind of environment again when it is safe for all, and to start working on recirculating those economic dollars. Drive-through Broogaloo. You'll see, thankfully, we worked with Lincoln Theater, a closed down venue, who unfortunately is still closed today. So we are passionate about advocating for venues like this that have now been closed for almost a year from doing business, trying to find ways to rent spaces that would normally be empty to do these types of events. When downtown needed help, again, we partnered not only with lots of community volunteers and partners, but we also forged a relationship with Black Dollar this last year, working with them and still keeping in touch with them on how can we help support each other, how can we help grow our small business community. Here's the picture we presented to you last year. Many of you will remember Al Baraka, which has excellent food, by the way, if you check out their new spot. This kind of rundown, what we called an eyesore when we presented it to the building owners, that our community deserved better. We are so proud to present to you the new Shop Local Raleigh office. Completely, fully remodeled, redone, and has created a beautiful space where we can incubate small business. You'll see at the top picture on the left, the two doors are sublet offices that are currently occupied by two local small businesses. They can have a space now where they can come in, work on working and growing their business to a point where they can eventually potentially have their own space. We've got the counter ready. We've got the full conference room. We cannot wait to get back to in-person events so that we can invite you to come and join in this space, to share in camaraderie once again. And so that all of you will know that Shop Local Raleigh office is all of us. It is our home, and it's our way to share with the community who Shop Local Raleigh is, what we do, who we are, and how we're here to help you in growing your business.
We built this for our members. We want this to be a resource for you to utilize. And so hopefully soon you can come and visit. Please see the space and utilize it as much as we can.
Going on further in the year, continuing with our pop-up events, continuing with weekly calls, continuing with advocating for you, and continuing with lots of talks with local and county leaders. Many of you participated in our survey that happened earlier this year asking, what is your state of business? Where does your business lie today? What are your greatest concerns? What keeps you up at night? That survey, as promised, was shared not only with local leaders, but also with local media, and it received a lot of attention. The biggest thing we found from you is that you were concerned, how are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to survive this event? How are you going to still be here a year from now? And most importantly, how are we going to get our economy back? What were the conversations and the tough conversations we were having? One of the first things we did was approach Wake County commissioners. Part of the CARES Act money they received, they did a 5% loan program that small businesses could apply for. We advocated against the 5% rate. We felt strongly that the rate should be the same amount as the small business loans. While we were not met with success, the mission and the message did not change, that we still continue to advocate for you and speak out on your behalf and try to do what's best to represent you and your interest. Through all of these discussions, all of these community meetings, and continuing to figure out how we can do things creatively, it was time for the annual Raleigh Christmas Parade. 75 years had been on record. We were not going to stop here and let year 76 not happen. This year, we first time ever did a virtual Raleigh Christmas Parade. What is virtual, you ask? How do you do a virtual Christmas parade? That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard, people told us. How are you going to seriously make this happen? And how are you going to do it safely? Countless hours went into this parade. And we are so excited to say that the views that were received, the viewership in our community, and the feedback on the event, because the show must go on, was one of the best in its history. The parade filmed virtually inside different venues around town, but also it allowed Sarah and I the opportunity to go around and film many of the different entries in the parade this year. That's right. Sarah and I got to learn how to be videographers this year. Something that we would have never thought happened. But again, in a pandemic, we thought, why not? What else could we do? Learning how to film gave us the opportunity to connect one-on-one with many of the parade participants and entries. Those participants we've worked with for years. However, many of them, you don't get to see much more than morning of parade, some emails here and there. This time gave us the opportunity to actually really connect with them. We got to learn more about their families. We got to learn about their business, how they were pivoting, what they were working through. And the number one thing that we got from people from still doing this virtual parade during the filming process was thank you. People felt very strongly and very thankful and appreciative that we continued to let the show go on. We didn't just say no. It gave our youth an opportunity to still perform, to still dress up, seniors the opportunity to have their final dance. And it also gave a sense of community when people watched from home. They were able to create new memories, hot cocoa, cookies, cider from the comfort of their home and their couch, watching their PJs and sharing on social media how they were finding ways to enjoy new entertainment and fun. One of my favorite texts that morning, I had a couple, were from some friends sitting at home watching the parade. And they said, our family is crying. Thank you for doing this. So thank you, Shop Local Raleigh, you, the membership, because you're the reason why, and you're the reason that these events continue to happen. For that reason, the show went on and it had over 1 million views. We had over 1 million shares on social media, touch points. Many of you were highlighted. Close to 70 businesses were included. We cannot wait to get back to the real thing in person. The parade is scheduled this year, still to be held the weekend before Thanksgiving. We are excited for the opportunity and hope that we will be back downtown on city streets this year. The parade economically for our community also helps book hotel rooms, stimulates people buying coffee, buying muffins, drinks. We know it won't be the same for a while, but we are energized and motivated by the fact that we can get back to things and try and help keep your businesses alive, keep traditions going, and bring that same joy that we brought to those families and participants in 2020 back to 2021. Now, what's next? We're still in a pandemic. We're still wearing masks. We're still social distancing, washing our hands. We're still at limited capacity in businesses, and some of you are still closed. Our mission, though, has not changed, and it remains the same. We've got a lot of work to do, and a lot of work the board knows and is aware. How are we going to be a part in helping? We're listening to you. Currently, we have another survey open. We've also got some poll questions for you to answer today. Sarah's going to help us here, and Sarah's going to throw up one of those poll questions. We're doing a couple live polls during this event because we truly want to hear from you. We want to understand things within your business. We want to understand, how do you shop locally as a business owner? How do you reconnect in our community? This poll that's being done will have live results here to share in a few minutes. So we ask you to go ahead, take a quick second, and do this poll. Brian's even going to participate for us. There we go. Thank you. So one thing that we've often talked about with people is, especially with our own businesses, is how do you shop locally yourself? You're a local business owner and you want people to invest and spend with you, but are we ourselves taking the initiative to make sure that we're also doing our part? It is so easy to click a button and shop online. But in the end of the day, if all of us are doing the easy thing, it's not helping each other. And we are all about strength in numbers. Shop Local Raleigh is not just a marketing program. It is not just a fancy Instagram page. It is about you, our business members, our business owners, and our community. And it's how can we strengthen each other and make our community stronger for the long run. Now, that poll, we'll go ahead and answer that at the end. We'll share those results later. But we want to get some insight, because all of these things that we're doing in these surveys, that thank you for taking the time to do, they help us in guiding decisions. They help the board to get a pulse on how business is doing today. Where's your business doing? And how can we help you the most? One of the things that we found from a recent survey that we're doing, which is still open, the number one answer so far is you've responded that you want events back. Events bring people out, events bring people to connect the community, and events bring spending. So our big goal for this year is to make sure that we find creative ways and solutions to bring events back, and that we can support you as much as possible. We currently are having some discussions with some large local leaders on some ideas and concepts that we feel will be full rounded to help all of our membership, not just food, not just retail, not just beverage, but also service providers, because we understand that local is full circle. Working on doing pop-up markets again. Sarah has been connecting with local market runners on putting together programs that will help not only the awareness of the local markets that are attending, but also give discounts and benefits to those that sign up that are Shop Local Raleigh members. Working through that program to try and make sure that we understand that people feel safe going back outside again. People want to get back outside as long as it's done safely. So our solution is to find ways to do various pop-up markets that allow you to market your business, sell your product, and have some fun at the same time. And again, engage in that human connectivity. Human connectivity is another thing that we've heard from many of you is what you miss most. And again, we understand it's hard. It is hard talking on a computer screen, not being able to see you in person today, because this is one of the events we love that truly kicks off the year. The other thing that we've really put back heavy this year is Fourth Friday and Tech Tuesday. Again, they may not look the same, but we thought it's important to still find ways to connect, whether it's connecting via Zoom, having smaller groups inside while also on Zoom. We know and understand that these things are valuable training and teaching tools that we can help provide you and your business. Quick pop-up, here we go. Sarah's got the poll results. So it looks like this is wonderful. So many of you replied that where do you spend your income locally? More than 60% is where you spend your money locally, how much money you spend locally. The number one result though, is that 43% of you are spending 50% of your income local.
That's awesome.
I think that's a huge round of applause. Spending,
awesome.
We ask the public to be, when we hear the hardest thing it's for them to do is to shift their shopping, we ask them to consider spending just 10%. Would they shift just 10%? But it sounds like many of you are already spending 50%. So that's a true testament. And these are things that we can put out to share with the public on. It's really easy to do. Our business owners themselves do it. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, do you want to do the next poll real quick that we've got lined up? We'll get that. Because while she's getting that going, we'll tell you a little bit about building stronger relationships with local officials. Because what we want to know, go ahead.
Keep on going, keep on going.
How do you talk about others? How do you talk about fellow business owners about Shop Local Raleigh? Do you tell them about it? Sometimes, always, you try, but you forget. Because another thing that we found is many business owners in our area still don't know that we exist. They still don't know how we function and what we offer to our business community. One of the reasons and ways that we identified that a lot of people may not know is some of our local officials don't know. And we took ownership on ourselves on that. We said, you know, we've got to do a better job of making sure they know that we exist and that we're here to help. The board has fully approved inviting a different elected official to a board meeting every month so that we can engage with them and connect, so that the awareness of Shop Local Raleigh is there, but also the relationship is there, so that when issues are facing you and your business, we have opportunities to relay the message, to convey and see how we might be able to work together to not only achieve some of our goals, but also help them in achieving theirs, because together we're stronger. Virtual roundtables. Again, that's something that we found with doing some of these surveys, is that you are our voice. You have so much information and you're the backbone of the community. You're the boots on the ground. We want to be able to connect with you, whether it's with local leaders, whether it's bringing top officials in, to have quarterly roundtables, to invite you to participate, to also get some feedback and sharing, so that when we're talking to local media, when we're talking to elected officials about things that are affecting small business, we can have real life situations, scenarios, and talk about things that are really needing change and that need awareness brought to them. Virtual roundtables was one of the board's idea to add to this year, to make sure that we're giving every opportunity to not only connect with you, but connect our community. Because again, we go back to the point that it's strength in numbers and together we're stronger. We truly do care about every single one of you. Whether you're a member or not, we're here to help small business, because we believe small business is the backbone of this community. And together we build this area. You know, whether it's your favorite coffee shop, whether it's going to find your favorite Italian spot, there's so many places that we all love. And we want to make sure that every one of you is here, not only 3 months from now, 6 months from now, but 5 years from now, so that we can create this community that truly believes in local and keeps it unique and provides jobs. It looks like, oh, this is so wonderful. 59% of you are always telling fellow business owners about Shop Local Raleigh. So thank you, because you are the message. You are the voice for us. And so those of you that may try, but you forget, it's okay. We've all been there. We're here to help and give messaging, to share the news, because the more people we can help and the more small business owners that we can connect to what we do, we have a better chance of keeping everyone around. See if I can get this here. So moving forward, we're going to overcome. We're here. It is almost the end of February. We're going into the new year. Many of you may or may not know, another program and a need that was needed this year was outdoor heaters. Going into the cooler months, businesses, many of them needed outdoor heating. You know, how are we going? We can't have people inside, but we need people sitting outside. So we reached out, and a local business contacted us and said, you know what? We want to be the first to donate $1,000. We've had a great year. We're going to donate $1,000 to help offset the cost of these heaters. It took a while to find the heaters. As you know, they may or may not know, they're in high demand. We sourced for 3 months to find those heaters, and we're able to find over 25 heaters to supply businesses with low cost heaters for them. We want to be present. We want to be a sounding board. Is it just brainstorming? Is it helping you come up with a marketing plan? Is it showing you and teaching you some tips on social media? Is it helping you understand how to email market better? All of those things we have educated and trained ourselves on, so that not only can we help you, but we can also help refer you to another member that may specialize in that industry. So, and that's the one big thing that we have really tried to work hard on, is making sure that we can serve as a referral source. The website has recently been upgraded. If you have not been on it lately, we switched to a new platform. Good, bad news is, the good news is it grew so big, it needed a new platform because it had gotten a little slow. We are so grateful that you hung in there with us as we switched to find the right platform, because again, we didn't want to go with a corporate built platform. We wanted to stay with a website that was Raleigh built. It's now hosted on a new site. We're looking forward to finding ways that we can connect with you. Boogaloo is scheduled right now for Father's Day weekend. We're hopeful that we can get back to doing that and do it safely. More importantly, it's hearing from you and connecting with you. You help keep us informed and keep us connected. We're working on doing more spotlight videos. Sarah and I, from our expertise skill from learning how to do the Raleigh Christmas Parade and filming in that manner, now have the ability to figure out how to do cute short stories. I shouldn't say cute, informative, fun stories that we can air and edit for, whether it's for social media, for website purposes, but to truly tell the story of who you are and who's the person behind the business. We'll be reaching out and starting to schedule those. They do take a little bit of time to edit, but again, we're working on putting these programs into place so that we can help tell your story. Not only is it, again, being about having the social media presence for us, but we want to be storytellers, not just those that have a large social media following. This morning, I know that this time is important to you. I know that you've taken time out of your day, out of your busy schedule to be here. This means a lot to us.
Yes.
We miss having that lunch, but hopefully you have a little lunch saved for afterwards to enjoy. This is our way of trying to connect with you. Friday morning, we have Fourth Friday. This is still scheduled for this week. Kim Davis, a payroll expert, is going to join us. We're going to start adding a speaker at a guest at every fourth Friday to be there to answer questions about different topics in addition to Tech Tuesdays. Some of you have told us that you're seeing an increase in your unemployment taxes going up. That is one of the things that it seems to be happening more often than we'd like to hear. Kim's going to be on there as a payroll expert to help us understand some of these things, but also how you might be able to have discussions with the state about that, how you might be able to call the unemployment office and work to lower your unemployment rate. We're looking at doing different programs of how can we find funding? How can we help you craft creative messaging to let people know, but also how can you get into connecting with the new market and with the new normal as we're seeing today? Those are things that we look forward to helping you with in 2021. If there's anything that we've forgotten, missed, or completely off the mark, please contact us. We want to hear from you. There is no wrong answer. This board, we have got an incredible board that is truly committed to you and to helping you succeed. They want to hear feedback. They want to hear how we can help and how we can be a resource. They definitely keep me on my toes, making sure that I'm doing my best that I can to help you. Gabby's Grounds, a local coffee provider, has been so gracious to supply today's door prize. Gabby's Grounds, locally owned, independent, and they have supplied for a giveaway prize. We're going to do a drawing later for all that attended because, again, we know your time is important, and thank you. A free tumbler, bag of coffee, and a really cool face mask. So thank you, Gabby's Grounds, for providing today's door prize. Oak Park Shopping Center, we couldn't do this without you. Supplying the resources to keep this event going, to support Shop Local Raleigh, and sponsoring all these events. Solito, you hosting today on this platform, this technology is not my thing, but I do my best to figure it out. So thank you for helping us to make sure that today ran smoothly and that we were still able to offer and present this program to you. This year, we didn't do fancy speakers. We didn't do fanfare. We truly wanted to just connect with you and share how we really want to help. And I think I've probably said it to a billion times, I keep repeating it, but that really is where we are. We really just want you to know that we're here. So if you need something, whether it's telling us you've got 3 weeks, 3 months, you need help. If it's telling us, you know what, I had my best month ever. If it's saying, I'm just here, but I don't know what I'm doing. All those things, we're here for you. Feel free to call us, email us, stop by the office. We'd love to see you. Once again, thank you for this. The nice thing too is what we did set out as some time for today, having the different format, is we wanted to be able to have question and answer time. The ability to be able to truly connect with you and hear some things and hear your feedback. At this time, we'd like to open it up for question and answer time. So if anyone would like to share, introduce yourself to the group, or say a few words, we welcome. And Sarah, you guys may start to see some hands raised. There's a little button on the bottom that you can do a hand raise. Here we go. Any questions? And Brian, I should also give you, did you want to say anything?
No, you summed it all up. We want to be an advocate for our members, right? We want to be an advocate for you. We understand that these are troubling times. It's a tough time dealing with the pandemic, and we want to help you as much as we can. That's why we're here, and we're all going to be stronger because of this. I think the organization is stronger because of it, and I think our members are going to be stronger because of it. Again, thank you to all the sponsors, Oak City, and then also Solito for having us. He was our one fancy guest speaker. We did it.
Yes, Sharon, I don't want to diminish that. You definitely were our guest speaker today.
Oh, no, very glad to be part of it. So actually John Pugh raised his hand, and John, you're up.
Hey, wanted to see what the city specific. So we're my name is John. I'm in House of Swank in downtown Raleigh. Wanted to know what the city council is specifically doing to promote downtown Raleigh. It feels like there's a lot. I mean, downtown is pretty much a ghost town right now, and there's lots of concern with, what is the city actually doing versus saying.
Yeah, I'll take the lead on that one. So talking to the city officials, it's tough, right? They have a tough job, and we can't discount how tough their job is. They're trying to keep everyone safe, but at the same time, they understand that the city is a ghost town, right? That there's not a lot of people downtown. They're trying collectively to come up with great ways to bring people back, but they're trying to do it in a way that also keeps people safe. So to answer exactly what they're doing, they're having conversations, and that's the start of it, and we're involved. But nothing set yet to bring people back into downtown. Personally, for me, we got to get the businesses back. When the businesses come back, that's going to help. Vaccines are coming out, so once we get the businesses back, it's going to help, because I'm downtown as well, John. I'm right there on Dawson Street, so I see it. But the city's working on it. They're definitely working on it. When they're having conversations, it's just trying to move forward with the right way to move forward and do it safely. I hope that answers your question, John.
And John, as a nonprofit, as a group that advocates for all of Raleigh-Wake County, but also downtown, we want you to know that we are heavily advocating for safe events downtown, for us to be allowed to plan some things and do some things. Because until businesses do come back, those corporates and those larger employers, we understand that it's going to be difficult to get people to come back downtown. For that reason, we are seeking out private lots. If we are unable to do some safe socially distanced events approved by the city, we are looking at doing our own independent events and pop-ups just to try and get people back. We are concerned that, the messaging for so long has been to stay at home, to stay safe, and which is great messaging and very important. We're not discrediting that, but we do feel strongly that we've got to get people back. And it's important. Raleigh Magazine is going to have an article coming out this month asking about, downtown and what does downtown mean and what is it going to look like a year from now? And if some people don't come back, and our response was downtown will always be downtown. It's going to be the look of it and the feel of it that's going to change. And so it is up to all of us in our community that if we love the way our city is, and if we love the unique independent businesses, it's up to each and every one of us to make a concerted effort to go and shop down there, to eat down there, to spend down there, to advocate for these activities to come back. We have incredible businesses all over Raleigh, and they need our support and love as well. A downtown can help define a community for outdoor travelers coming from outside of our area, for conventions, for different types of notoriety. That's why sometimes when people ask, why is it so important of a downtown? As you know, it's because it can help the rest of the city, the infrastructure and building, to make sure that we do market ourselves and stay in those top rankings that so many cities have and that Raleigh has had in our past. So we're right there with you in advocating and figuring out how we can try to do that.
And John, I'll also say, love House of Swank, love your merchandise, support it. Everyone listening in, if you don't know about House of Swank, go see it. It's amazing merch. It's awesome. And thank you for what you do. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's been a weird year, right? I mean, our online sales basically kept us alive last year, but I'm actually more concerned with this year than last year. And oddly enough, are those online sales going to continue to float the business? Are they going to go down? And are we going to have the foot traffic to equal those things out over time? It's a weird time. Let's just say it like that. So, but yeah,
so many people on this call have that same concern. They share your concerns, and that's why we're here, right? We're here to voice those concerns for you to people that need to hear it. And we're pushing hard. Trust us, we're pushing really hard. We wanted to have an event in February downtown, but we're doing what we can.
Sure. Do we have other hands raised?
Oh, we do. We have actually a question from Tara Robbins. The cancellation of the free project PPE and distribution was so disappointing. It was such a great effort. Kudos. The question is there any word on rescheduling that?
Yeah, I'll be happy to take that one. We had received a call, full disclosure and transparency, we received a call close to the end of 2020 about a warehouse in North Carolina that had a lot of PPE supplies and that needed to be distributed to small businesses. There's a small business task force that worked on this project. We came up with the idea of running it like a Brugaloo model where we would do the drive-through concept, and it was well received. And unfortunately, the program was postponed. For those of you that may or may not know, the state was given mandates from federal government to put all resources and focus on getting this vaccine distributed. And so due to that shift, a lot of the resources from the state got shifted to that, postponing indefinitely the PPE program. We are still in talks with the state on this and still working to advocate for these supplies. We are asking them, we've even presented ideas such as private transport companies. We work a lot with Behringer, distributing company, Lowe's Foods. What if we were to connect with the private sector to try and come up with ideas and solutions to get the private sector to agree to help transport the supplies? Shop Local Raleigh had committed with no financial support from the state. We did this truly as a program to try and help, that we would actually go around to 5 different cities across the state to run this program to make sure that all of these different areas, these small businesses, had the same chance that Raleigh would have to do this. So
we had the trucks lined up. I mean, it was, trust me, it's disappointing to us as it is to you.
So we don't have a great answer on the reschedule date. I can tell you though, that even as of just Friday, we have been continuing to send them ideas, send some solutions. Some of you I know have written letters of concern and wanting to know how can we help move this program forward? How can the private sector help make a difference and get this project done? we are committed to doing whatever we can and finding solutions to figure out how to get this PPE program back on board. Because again, we know that's just added expense that you should not have to incur that has continued this long. And if this is a small way that we can help do that and alleviate some expenses and keep our community safe in the meantime, we're here for it.
Thanks, Jennifer. Some other people had raised their hand, but they lowered their hand. If you'd like to, we can, Sarah and I are looking out for anyone raising their hand. Oh, here was one. We got, maybe not.
And that's okay. If there's a question too that you have that you may not want to share publicly, feel free to email us. We're here to answer questions, here to connect.
We got one question, Jennifer. Sorry.
Okay.
This is Jenny from H2D Concrete Specialist. They own a local residential concrete company. For those that don't have a brick and mortar store, how do you suggest we strengthen our local presence using the Shop Local Raleigh platform? And follow on to that, are there any other contributions we can make to highlight our company more since we do not have a storefront?
Great question. Great question. One of the things that I think it's easy to talk about is food. It's easy to talk about boutiques. I bought my mask local, my earrings local. It's easy to do things like that. It is a little bit more, since we are not only business to business, but business to consumer, wanting to connect people together. The big thing I think that we figured out finally is how to do some of our own videos to tell your story. And I think that would be a perfect way for Sarah or I to come out and maybe do a mini interview with you, or we do it online and pre-record it and can edit it to talk about what is your concrete company? What do you do? How do you service our community? People may not know. I mean, you guys do an incredible job at some stamping, some outdoor patio spaces. How can people learn about you and your company that you've been around for so many years, your family run and operated, that you are available to help people? And those are things that I think, one, that we're really going to try and work better on this year is with video, is doing a lot of that video so that we can help tell your story, but then you can also use that video to share and tell your story. Another way is when we do some of our Tech Tuesday events or our Fourth Friday networking events. Fourth Friday, it's an open forum. We're doing round robin. You can go around and introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your business, tell each other what you're looking for leads or for ideas for help on certain projects, where it's other business owners all connecting to share and help each other, to try and give ideas, to share concepts, and really form a strong networking group. One of the things that I know when we started doing Fourth Friday years ago, and we were able to actually go around and do everyone introduce your name, your business. And we started off something just as simple as, if you could dress up for Halloween, what would you dress up as? Or it's 4th of July weekend, what's your favorite 4th of July memory? And that gave us the opportunity to get to know each of you on a different level and a personal level. And that's something we really had the opportunity now to get back to doing on these Fourth Friday calls, is the opportunity for everyone to connect, share, and tell us how we can help each other. So for those that don't have brick and mortars, we just reach out to us, connect with us, let us know that you need help, or you're ready to do a video, or that you're seeking more ideas of how to share. And I think Sarah and I, one of our strong points, if you will, is that I feel like we're both very creative people. And Sarah, I know she's on here and you guys have heard her name. Sarah's an incredible asset to Shop Local Raleigh. We just appreciate her so much and everything that she brings to the table. The market idea, working with the market runners, was her concept. And so I think both of us, whether one of us or the other brainstorms, or if the two of us brainstorm and have a call with you, that's something that we're more than willing to do, to figure out how we can help connect, how we can help support you, and make sure that you're getting the most out of your membership.
I think we have time for a few more. Sharon, anyone else?
No, I don't see anyone else. So I think we're
Okay.
good. No more questions.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part. We wanted to also give you a few minutes back, so in case you did need to shove lunch in between your day. But truly, send us pictures that we can highlight of you. Help. We ask you to help you tell your story to us. The more we know your story, the more we can help tell your story. We get calls from local media. When the pandemic started, it was every single day we were meeting with talking with different reporters, giving ideas and local stories. Part of our job is to understand each and every one of you, so that we can make sure that we can tell the story. So when they call and say, we're looking, yesterday we got a call that said, we're looking for a woman-owned business that didn't apply for a PPP the first time, but is hoping to apply this time. Sometimes it's, we're looking for someone that has been able to successfully pivot in this, who has started a new concept. The questions are endless. And part of it too is if we know your story, we can also craft the message to help pitch the idea to them about, here's a really cool story, idea, and concept about a local business and what they're doing. So I encourage you to tell your story to us, and you can flood us with emails. Make sure that we're aware as well of what you're doing, and then let us help promote you and connect you and try and help grow in the community to let people know that you're local. And we want you to all feel very proud to be a member of Shop Local Raleigh, and that we truly are here to help you and serve our community. So thank you for joining us today. This has been recorded. We will publish it and share it for afterwards. If you have ideas, questions, anything, don't hesitate to contact us and share it. Again, thank you for hosting. Brian, thank you for being here. Brian, for leading the board. Brian has an incredible job of keeping everyone organized and together and coming up with, he just did a big strategic rollout to try and work on, again, us ourselves have had to pivot a little bit and add some new things into the strategic plan, just given the times. So thank you all again for joining us. And if you need us, I'm Jennifer at shoplocalraleigh.org. Sarah is Sarah at shoplocalraleigh.org. And if you need help connecting with anyone, don't hesitate to let us know. We're happy to help.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys
so much.
Thank you.